My name is Taylor Townsend, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
What's going on, everyone? Today we are in for the Austin Final between Taylor Townsend and Peyton Stearns. And this is definitely an interesting one as you analyze it, because it's Taylor Townsend in her probably first singles title. I don't know. Jean, how are you? Thank you for the kind welcome. So, but on the other hand, you got Peyton Stearns at home, in a sense, where she played college tennis at WTA Austin, and we'll definitely have a little bit more of the crowd, as they have been supporting her all week in Austin. So let's see. Taylor's been playing some really good tennis this week, and it even started off with her first match, where it was Linda Fruhvirtova, who was actually serving for the match and failed to, and then Taylor Townsend took advantage. But Peyton Stearns starts with a double fault. Our score bug is very ahead. Not very ahead, maybe a point. But today we deal with the top viewing conditions in Austin, because in the daytime, the contrast with the court, it's just not the best. So we'll have to deal with those difficulties, but we'll make it work. Does Peyton Stearns have a title? Not to my knowledge, but let's double check. Big firstie for her for 3015. Oh, yeah. It's actually quite an impressive title. It was in Rabat in 2024. She beat Sharif in the final. And based on location, I'm going to assume it was clay. Against Sharif. So that's a very impressive result. I'm going to look more into that at the changeover. Taylor Townsend misses that forehand at the line by just a ball. So let's see. I mean, for me, this match, it's interesting to kind of see how Stearns reacts, because yesterday She's dealing with a bit of a hip injury, which I thought was more of an injury, but it sounded like it was actually more cramps. She got treatment at 3-2 and 5-2 in that third set. So just going to be keeping an eye on that, monitoring that. She had a quick turnaround. It was yesterday because she played very late on Friday night and then had a quick turnaround for Sunday first match of the day. So let's see. But yeah, Townsend was playing some really good tennis this week. Came from a set down twice. And it's kind of an interesting part of her career as she got a wild card to this event. Short return. Stearns looks to go with the inside out forehand that goes into the net. So deuce here in our first game. But yeah, as I was mentioning, got a wild card here. Looking to play the I think it was four events on the hard court. Austin, Sunshine Double, maybe play Charleston if that's right after, if I'm remembering correctly. I will say something that I really like about Townsend in her game. There's a few things actually, and that's a beautiful point from Peyton Stearns. Hits that inside out forehand beautifully, really camping in that backhand wing. Townsend used the chip return so well, and I think just in the women's game it poses a different threat because I think it's a little bit harder to generate pace from a dead ball in terms of doing it consistently. It's quite frustrating, I feel like, over a match time. And Townsend makes you do that, one. Two, she poses a lot of pressure because she gets to the net a lot. I feel like in the women's game, it's not as common where players, a few balls are coming to the net, or as much as very often, here's a drop shot from Stearns that just wasn't that good. And Townsend does well as she approaches the net. Back to deuce. Yeah, that's a thing for Townsend. She just plays so well and trusts herself at the net. And I think that poses such a threat. And does it consistently, so at least it stays in the opponent's mind. Deuce, good wide serve. It's gonna be easy to put away. Exactly, Gene. I think it's obviously tough as a lefty, but you add the kind of variety, and it's difficult. She has a pretty good serve too. Can slide it off the tee, can slide it wide. Oh, but the other thing I was going to mention is she doesn't have a coach right now, and it's just very interesting. Backing herself here. Got her son in attendance. And I know she was in the doubles draw, and she was doing quite well. Here she comes again with a nice crush and rush off the return. Put away volley back to deuce. Let's see if she stayed or she might have even lost in the doubles draw. Let's see. She is in the doubles final today after this match, and she is a big favorite with Storm Sanders. That's quite the team to go up against in a 250. Speaking of, Indian Wells Qualies has just kicked off on the women's side. So we have action in Indian Wells as we speak. Let's see if Stearns can get out of this game. Looks a lot windier than it has. I mean, I have no clue, but looks pretty windy. Another good crush and rush return from Townsend. And this has become quite the first game. quite the first game. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep following Emerson Jones. Obviously, a lot of hype around her. What a good player. And now it's Townsend who does have the break point. First serve into the net. Going to be a second serve. And yeah, I was going to say it's a double fault. Just a lot of pressure from Townsend on that side. I'm curious if our producer would be... I mean, I guess I could take this in a number of ways, but yes, it definitely has happened a good amount, I think. When you win actually not a good amount, but just like winning the singles title and the doubles title, one in the same weekend. How about more on the same day? I guess 250 would probably be the most common place it would happen, because if you kind of extrapolate it to bigger events, you're not going to be playing likely both of them simultaneously. So it probably only happens at 250s, maybe some 500s, but on the men's side, there's no names that come to mind. Women's side, maybe a little bit more common, say like a Krejcikova. Who knows with Shuai Zhang. Had a good week in Merida. And Buska, unreal tennis this week. She's a player that I didn't actually watch till, I mean, I'd seen her, but I hadn't really paid close enough attention. That'll be interesting if Townsend does it in Austin and Buxa does it in Merida in the same day. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, playing some really good tennis, prefers slower conditions. Another player who maybe not as much variety, but like when you get to the net, she's definitely a much bigger threat than a lot of other players in the women's game. So let's see if Stearns can right the ship. Got a forehand. She was able to attack there. Buxa, you're saying, did Gene? A little bit of a tentative return from Peyton Stearns. So far, so good in terms of what we're seeing on the health side. I mean, we're already like 10 to 12 minutes in here. Let's see if Stearns can put some pressure back on Townsend. The lefty slider is beautiful off the line, but Stearns got herself into the point. Townsend goes attack mode and just misses an inside out forehand wide, and she is fun to watch, I think, because she does bring a kind of renewed energy. She does laugh at herself a lot. I guess I found myself watching a lot of her matches this week, but many easy misses this week, and she does react quite animated after those misses. It's actually a pretty good slice from Peyton Stearns, but Townsend gets to the net. So confident there. just goes +1 cross court and follows it in. Beautiful sit down volley. Brings up game point. But Gene, great call. Like I probably would have slipped on that. Probably would have figured it out, but now I'm kind of hoping for a double in a sense for Taylor Townsend and Christina Buxa. In that time, Peyton Stearns kind of runs around the backhand on return, trying to go inside in on the forehand, doesn't get it. So it's 2-love after 15 minutes. Chelsea also knocking on the door here with just 3 to go. United with a big win over Palace this morning. Or this afternoon, depending on where you are. And yeah, the nurse thing, I guess it kind of goes both ways in a sense. Stearns, she's been quite vocal, as I actually did kind of retweet out yesterday, how important this tournament feels to her. You know, she says it's only a 250, but it feels like a slam to me. You can feel that pressure playing at home, but it goes both ways, right? Everyone's going to be supporting you. But Townsend been playing some really good tennis this week, and I feel like, I don't know how big that first game's going to end up being, but it feels like Stearns hasn't quite found her mark yet. Timing, maybe going for a bit much. Go see who she's playing with. That's right. Red card. And Buxa is a slight favorite in that doubles match, and a slight favorite in the singles match. So we'll see. It's gonna be quite an intriguing day on the women's side. Stearns finding the forehand a little bit more in this game, getting Townsend on the run. And I think that's kind of going to be the clash, obviously, as you have a lefty forehand to a righty backhand. Stearns, her biggest weapon, very well known, is the forehand. So it's like how much width can Townsend get on those cross-court forehands and make her hit as many backhands, especially because she doesn't want to. But there's a rocket return from Townsend, and she's getting a lot of bang for her buck. Oh my. This Chelsea situation is insane, but it looks like it's going to be offside. But yeah, Townsend really sitting on these returns and just crushing them. Yeah, I'm praying, Gene. I'm quite worried, actually. I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to be able to make the trip. Time Stearns second serve into the body. And that's just the type of point that Taylor Townsend wants to be playing. Big return. Able to create width off the forehand. Get Stearns off the tram lines. And then crush a middle forehand to the open court. Playing great tennis. So back to deuce on the Stearns serve. Stearns. I just think it's going to be a lot of buildup in terms of like the pressure she's feeling on serve because Townsend is just going so big on these returns, creating a lot of trouble. Here we go, another second serve, deuce. Much better second serve, and it actually pays off. Stearns, game point here. Had a few of them in her first service game, was not able to convert. Now she's spreading the court nicely here, getting Townsend on the move. Townsend defending beautifully, though. Goes after the forehand, and it's into the net. So Peyton Stearns is on the board. She holds, and it is 2-1 at the sit-down. With Townsend up a break. So, happy March, everyone. I think it's just ridiculous how quick the season can move on. As a tennis fan, you're just like following the calendar, and these weeks, they go by quick. They go by quick. Feels like we were just starting the season. That was 2 months ago. It started on January 2nd. United Cup. Flew through the Australian Open, and now February has been quite a busy month on the tennis calendar. But with all these tournaments, it just flies by. So here we are. We have reached the Sunshine Double. It starts on Wednesday. Qualies are happening as we speak. Just the women's, though, today. The men's will do on Monday and Tuesday. There we go, Gene. Happy birthday. You're going to celebrate it with, I guess, some qualies and some challenger. Or maybe there's some other things exciting in your life going on. Maybe you like soccer. Or maybe you're just celebrating. But here we go. Peyton Stearns now into the match. Got herself a hold. Played quite a bit of tennis in these first 3 games. Just about 20 minutes in. Good deep return here from Stearns. Rips that forehand. And yeah, that was quite a slashing point. Stearns teed off an inside-in forehand. Townsend playing good defense and really kind of made it an awkward ball as Stearns was moving to her forehand corner. Wasn't able to chip it back. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Draw tomorrow, 3 p.m. local time, I believe. That's good. Fees. From what I'm hearing in terms of Taylor Fritz doing kind of the ball analysis, and obviously the court speed, I think that's quite advantageous if you're Arthur Fees. I feel like the surface is almost ideal in a sense, where it's slow, but also like has the ability to generate his own pace off a dead ball. A lot of RPMs on the forehand. Obviously a great athlete. Now that you're saying it, Gene, I mean, I know it's early in the comeback, but this is a great time to get going. if you're Arthur Fees, good conditions for him before we get to the clay. That time I felt like Stearns cheating a little bit too much around that backhand. Yeah, I was trying to think. Did he play Runa last year in the semis? I'm kind of blanking on it. I know it was Draper Alcaraz, but that slider serve just takes Stearns off the court. Very well done. That time, Stearns able to hit a beautiful pass off the backhand wing. As Taylor went with an approach, but it clipped the net cord, so it gave Stearns a bit more time to set up the pass. Big fist bump. Time Taylor attempting a serve and volley, just misses the serve wide. Yeah, wind's such a factor out there. So let's see how that affects the conditions as well. That time, it's kind of the same point that we've been seeing. It's like, who's going to win this pattern with Stearns camping in that backhand wing, just like running around these forehands, almost fighting off a few before she got a short ball that she was able to attack, came to the net. Beautiful sit-down volley. So we're at deuce on the Townsend serve here. Townsend follows it up with a beautiful serve up the tee. Not sure if Stearns was leaning a bit to the forehand. I kind of have to expect a tee serve on the deuce side from a lefty going to the righty's backhand. Townsend hits that serve very confidently as well. Now let's see if she'll go to the slider again. She does, and it is essentially perfect. So a good combo there to get out of deuce, and she holds for 3-1. Of course, if you are enjoying the coverage, please do hit subscribe. Listen to more of me and also many other tennis experts. Well, let's see here. It's been quite a battle between these two. A lot of tennis already for just a 3-1 lead. Feels like both players have grown into this match a bit. Kind of feeling each other out here. Stearns feeling it there. Able to flatten out a forehand. Not much room there. Sleeper players on the women's side. It's a good call. It depends on how deep in the rankings we want to go, but Sakari maybe. Can she find some rhythm and form? Janice Chen. Slice might be effective, playing good defense on a slower surface. She is one who can generate pace off the forehand. And it starts with a hole to love. So 3-2 in Austin. Oh. Hey, John.
Hey.
I was looking at some
Yeah. Okay, were you? I heard you sort of talk about sleepers. Yeah, Sakari, of course, had that run, didn't she? In Dubai or Doha or one of the.
Yeah. Doha.
It was,
she beat Iga. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As for Janice Chen, I don't know. There is a hygiene, by the way. There is a chance, and it's probably less than 20%, but there is a chance that what we see with Janice right now is what we're going to get. In other words, occasionally players will find it tricky and frustrating, especially if they haven't played a player like her for a while. Mm-hmm. But there is a downside to her breakout being a bit later, because she's 23, I think, which is quite old, if you like, to break out on the tour. Bearing in mind, lots of players are in their teens when they hit the ground running. And I'm just the slice is something that she's obviously famous for, but it's not always effective. When you've got a strength like that and it's not always effective, then I think it's a bit of a problem. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Right, it's hard. We still need more data, but that year that she had, even from the futures and whatnot, what was it? Some crazy number.
Yeah,
she won a boatload of matches, and that
I think your football stream, by the way, was slightly ahead of mine, because I think you said something like, I think this is offside, actually.
Yeah.
And then 15-20 seconds later I saw it, and it was
quite crazy, huh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That was, oh, I wish.
Yeah, I listen, I don't want Man City to win the league, but I'm just fed up with Arsenal in some ways, because they're just, Anyway, that's football. Listen, Brennan, if you've got to go, by all means do so, but you're welcome to stay for another 5 minutes or whatever suits you.
Yeah, I'll stay for this Townsend service game.
All right. How's it been going, by the way, the first?
It's good, kind of a feeling out process, but I think Townsend is going to be the one. It looks like, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, a little bit windy, so obviously some conditions, but yeah, the nerves, as you mentioned, I feel like they're kind of on both ends, but if you're Townsend, you're playing with a little bit more house money in a sense, where you're not.
I think Rabat's a 250, plus it was clay, plus it wasn't homeland, so but what I'm saying is, if Stearns had 5 titles and 3 of those were on US soil,
exactly.
I don't think it would be a big issue. But first final on US, first potential title on US soil for both.
Also, John, I think I know it sounds maybe incorrect, but a little bit of wear and tear for Stearns over the last 2 days. Finished that match in 3 sets. It was 6-1, 5-7, 7-5 on Friday night. Quick turnaround yesterday. I had to play 3 sets while she was cramping. Yeah. And now she's here 24 hours later. Not even, actually.
Mm-hmm. It's quite an early start, isn't it? 1 o'clock local time, I think. I think it's 1 o'clock. Anyway, Is it a 7-hour time difference to? Oh, I'm thinking of where I am.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Eastern time and Austin? Is it 1 or 2 hours?
It's 1 hour.
1 hour. So yes, I think it's 1 o'clock local time.
Yeah.
Quite an early start. They might have been like, you know what, we want it separate from Merida, because Merida obviously will be happening in a few hours.
Will it happen in a few hours, or will it happen in like 6 hours?
I think Merida is midnight
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah, they're starting at
6 p.m. Eastern time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, we could have. I'll leave you with this. I mean, it could be kind of a historic day on the women's side if Townsend is able to get this title, win the doubles, and then Ukska does the same thing.
Oh, right. So, okay, yeah, I heard you talk about something. Okay, right. So we've got Townsend potentially doing a double, if you like, or a double, and Ukska also. Okay, okay, gotcha.
And I was posing to you, like, I don't know
if that's happened before. Yeah, you did.
It's definitely happened before. It's just like, if you kind of like do the numbers, it can really only happen at like the 500 level or lower. Essentially, it could happen on bigger stages. I was thinking like definitely not on the men's side as much. Women's, Krejcikova, thinking something like that. But
yeah, I just don't know what days that like. So the Indian Wells singles finals of men and women are both on the Sunday, I think. I think normally it's like quite an early, like lunchtime. So what I'm saying is I don't think the women's doubles final is the same day.
Right.
And obviously we need 2 tournaments as you highlight to be. So it obviously has to be a couple of 500s or 500 and 250 like it is now.
Well, I mean, I was even saying I was saying in like the normal sense of like players just like doing it. Like at the 1,000 level, like it might just be too much wear and tear, but
I get you. Although Iga Swiatek, I don't know if it was the same day.
Okay.
I feel like it might have been. French Open 2020.
Oh, yeah?
She was in the final of the doubles and won the singles. Yeah. She was in the final of the doubles in 2020, which is kind of bizarre because we don't really think of her as a doubles player anymore.
Yeah, it's probably the last time she ever played it.
Might have been, yeah. Yeah. So she was in the final of the doubles, and I think it might have been the same day.
I believe it.
But it might not have been. This is obviously French Open 2020. This is the COVID winter one. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It should be interesting. And I don't know. I'm rooting for Peyton Stearns here, of course, as an American. And I back the college singles game. I'm a little bit worried for Navarro, though. I haven't really made that comment. I was big on Navarro and like.
Yeah, when you and Carson did a year sort of preview or
we probably did mention her. Yeah.
You definitely mentioned it, but I don't know if either
I don't
of you
think I had her. Yeah.
No, that's wise. I gave her a wide berth. I just felt that the last 6 months of 2025. Now, I might have been just the matches that I saw her play. Whereas, because I think she had some decent results, but it was just like whenever I saw her play, it wasn't at a level that would have suggested a top 10 2026. And so, yeah, I was giving her a very wide berth in terms of this year.
John, last one before we go. Players stuck in Dubai. Do you think they're going to make it?
Oh, yeah, right.
It's not many of them, if we're being...
Who is it? Medvedev?
Griekspoor, Rublev.
Well, Griekspoor's pulled out of Indian Wells, and
so it doesn't matter, I guess. But he's
no. But Rublev is still there, is he? Because he played the semis, I guess. Who was the other semi-finalist who lost?
It was Medi and FAA. So I wonder if FAA got out.
Don't know. So those are the players that sort of got stuck there for one reason. I mean, I wouldn't. It's just impossible to say. I mean, this could go on for days or weeks, and even if you're an expert in this field, I think it would be difficult to predict. But the good-ish news is if it's allowed to go over land, there are probably. I'm going to have a look at the map right now, but there are possible options of going by land into another country, perhaps. Now, of course, again, there would be risks involved there if you're told to stay in your hotels. But yeah. So listen, it would be. unwise of me to make wild predictions about whether they'll be definitely
Right.
fine or definitely not fine in terms of being able to leave, because these things are very unpredictable. But I'm just looking at the map, and they're obviously not going to get on a boat and go over to Iran, because that would be out of the frying pan into the fire. But is there somewhere nearby that is safe for them? I don't know exactly which places are under attack right now, but you obviously got Dubai, you've got the United Arab Emirates, you've got Qatar, you know, even maybe Saudi Arabia. But again, I don't know whether that's under attack as well. So there's just a few land options, maybe even Kuwait. I don't know. So I just don't know which countries basically right now are told to lock down and close all their airports and airspaces for now. So yeah, there's that. It is a bit more isolated than if they were in maybe Qatar, where they could probably get to Riyadh quite quickly. But as I say, I don't know which airspaces are closed down right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, John. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the match, and we'll talk soon.
All right, take care. See you soon.
See ya.
So we've got Townsend here serving at 4-3, 15 love. Felix got out, did he? Okay, good to know, Gene. Thanks for that. Felix got out, and he's practicing on site. Who's that you're talking about? Is that Medvedev or who's practicing on site, Gene? So there's three players, it seems like, Medvedev, Rublev, and Griekspoor, although Griekspoor, of course, has pulled out of the tournament. So it's just Rublev and Medvedev, if I understand correctly, Gene. Felix got out. Okay, good. So Felix got out, or Felix is practicing? On site, you mean in Indian Wells? Okay, gotcha. Yep, I've gotcha. Felix is already on site in Indian Wells and in practicing, whereas Mehdi and Rublev are stuck in Dubai. Yeah, I'd like to have a quick look to see about the airspace situation. Which countries are grounded in the Middle East? Because if it's just Dubai, but I don't think it is. So just having a quick look, according to the BBC, flights cancelled and new travel warnings issued after Iran strikes. Airlines are continuing to cancel and divert flights in the Middle East after the US and Israel launched strikes against Iran. Flights in and out of airports in Tel Aviv, Dubai, Doha, and other international hubs in the region have been suspended. The UK Foreign Office is warning British citizens against all essential travel to Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and United Arab Emirates. So I think that's obviously travel in. That probably means that the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain do have flights going out. And therefore, that might give Andrei Rublev and Daniil Medvedev a route out of the troubled region. But of course, they'll be in a stick or twist scenario in terms of whether they should leave now or wait and see if maybe things ease off. But I'm sure they'll be getting as good advice as they possibly can. All right, back to Taylor Townsend and Peyton Stearns. Taylor Townsend is one game away from sealing the first set. Stearns is going to be serving at 3-5 to stay in this first set. By the way, we have lots and lots and lots of live streams over the next 48 hours or so. We have this match between Stearns and Townsend. We will also be bringing you the ATP Santiago final between Darderi and Hanfmann. Yes, you heard me correct. Yannick Hanfmann is in the Santiago final. He somehow beat Franz Arundolo last night. I'd love to know how, actually, in straight sets as well. Sorry, Yannick, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on you. I just made Fran a very heavy favorite for that one. Then we have also a live watch along for the Austin final. The Merida final between Buxa and Frech. Hanfmann was excellent yesterday. Good to know. And then tomorrow, we will have a live stream to bring you the Indian Wells draw as it happens. We will be live around about 3 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. GMT, and midnight Central European time. So, Gene, you can probably guess why I was WhatsApping you yesterday about the time of that draw, because we will be broadcasting it live on the channel as it happens. Then we will also have on Tuesday ATP and WTA Weekly. That will obviously be mostly looking towards Indian Wells, but also reflecting on tournaments such as this one unfolding in front of us in Austin. Let's have a look. Oh, Peyton Stearns. That was a gimme. Dumping that backhand into the net, and it's 15-40 and 2 set points for Taylor Townsend. How she would love to seal the deal on Peyton's serve here. And I do wonder if Peyton is feeling the effects of back-to-back 3-setters and cramps yesterday. But she's very disappointed with the way she was so far up on top of that point, but somehow the proximity to the net deceived her. And it's going to be a second serve, is it? No, unreturned first serve. Nice serve there from Peyton. 30-40. 1 set point saved, 1 to go. Thanks, Gene. You are welcome to do as many revamps as you wish. If you need any help, as in like, I don't even know who designed the, did you design it? I don't know. Did I design it? Did I set it up? Do I have any power or authority? I don't mind. You can do whatever you please. Run around forehand return here for Taylor. By the way, do we know what Peyton Stearns is like against lefties? Yeah, because I see a little bit more action in the Discord right now. In fact, maybe we should share the Discord in the live chat. By the way, Peyton Stearns has got to deuce here. Save that also set point. Thank you very much for Terry and Jean. By the way, plenty of members-only content available right now. The link to become a member is pinned in the live chat, and you can do so from just a couple of euros or a couple of dollars per month. You can become a member and get access to perks and share emojis in the live chat, etc., as well as getting access to exclusive members-only footage. We've got an ace here for Peyton Stearns, setting up a game point. So from 15-40 down, she's won 3 points in a row. Bit of a mental challenge as well, bearing in mind that 15-30 point, how ugly that was for Peyton in terms of her being on top of the rally. Good to have so many of you in the live chat, by the way, today, or so many, I should say, watching. Do feel free to join the live chat. At the moment, it's just a conversation between Gene and I, which, by the way, is totally fine as well. But if you've got any thoughts on who's going to win, in fact, let's do this right now. Get in the live chat right now and simply write S or T. S if you think Peyton Stearns is winning. T if you think Taylor Townsend is winning. I just want to see an S or a T right now. Get in the live chat. Hit S for Stearns, T for Townsend, and hit return. Very good, Jane. Very good. Nice endorsement there. Yeah, just simply write S or T in the live chat. Boom. Is Peyton getting some attention? Okay, just for the racket change. It would seem. Callie required here, going for Taylor Townsend. Callie required. I presume that you have already hit subscribe, but if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, please. Let's see if we can share our subscriber count on the screen as well. So that way you can see every time. Oh, great. We just added a subscriber. That might have been Callie required. By the way, why Callie required? Jane here going for Stearns. I wouldn't rule out a Stearns comeback, either from a set down or oh, wow, we're just getting another subscriber. Thank you very much. or even in this set. Yeah, I was super surprised to see him get past Fran as well. Okay, serving for the set here, Taylor Townsend, as she takes a step closer to her first main tour title. Jean saying, yes, of course. Is that just because you're a huge tennis fan, or is it because you're a fan of Cerundolo or Hanfman? Or maybe just a fan of Santiago? I lived in Santiago for 6 months. I know, Mehdi getting his second title in the same location for the first time. Okay. So, love 15 here. Yeah, a little nervy here from Taylor Townsend, trying to serve this out. Classic Mehdi indeed. Do hit the like button, by the way, people. How many likes have we got in this video? Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. I'm guessing we're about 20 or 25, but that's a pure guess. So, Stearns here, love 30. I said that there's a possible comeback in this set. A double fault from Taylor Townsend. She smiles, but it's an outward smile. I'm sure inside it's a bit more pained. So 3 break points here as she hits just her second double fault of the match. Oh, what a horrible volley from Taylor Townsend. Honestly, that was, if a club player did that, particularly during a training session, there would be a comment or two from the coach going, what are you doing? What are you doing? She wasn't punchy enough with it. And it went into the net quite comfortably from a pretty close proximity. Seemed harder to hit it into the net than to hit it over the net. And it's 5-all. Jean, I'm guessing statistically you mean because of win-loss ratio, which of course is extremely valid, but then not winning the title there is also valid. And maybe just the runs that he had, as in has he beaten Sinner in Indian Wells? Has he beaten Rafa or Novak in Indian Wells? I feel like he hasn't. And then, of course, you go, but he's on the other side of the draw to Carlos a few times. So getting to the final was more doable, if that makes sense. So I see why statistically it's his best in terms of win-losses, but he's never won the title there either. As soon as he comes up against someone really good, he doesn't win. I don't think he ever played Rafa in Indian Wells. I think he only ever had one win against Rafa, and that was ATP Tour Finals 2020. 15-all here, by the way, on the Peyton Stearns serve. Yeah, 5-1 is their head-to-head, and yeah, the ATP Tour Finals was their only one. Acapulco, those similar conditions, I would suggest to Indian Wells, maybe. Acapulco slowish. And Rafa won 6-3, 6-3. That was a great tournament for Rafa. That's an underrated tournament, that performance he put in Acapulco, because everyone was still thinking about the Australian Open and the incredible heroics he pulled off there. But I think his performances in Acapulco were even more impressive, albeit over best of 3. Rafa bageled Medvedev in Canada of 2019. Okay, 30-15 here for Peyton Stearns. High escaping ball, Q1H. First of all, escaping ball, can you hit the subscribe button just below the screen? And yeah, I'll be back with you in 1 second. I'm just going to turn this light off behind me. I think it's a little distracting for you guys. There we go. I think that's a bit better. If escaping ball, you hit subscribe, you'll see this little number below my head tick over, and you know you've made a difference, and you can do a little dance. Also, in the live chat, everyone, let me know where in the world are you tuning in from. That may help me tell you where to watch this match as well. Peyton Stearns holds with a second serve. And so now, remember, she had set points at 3-5, 2 set points. And then on her serve, of course, she was serving for the first set, but wasn't able to serve it out. In fact, got broken to love. And now all the momentum is with Peyton Stearns, 6-5. Thank you, escaping ball. Now I need to know, sorry, one more thing. I need to know, where in the world are you tuning in from? Once I know where you are, escaping ball, then I might be able to assist you. Istanbul. Okay. Istanbul. Tennis Watch Live. WTA. Just checking the different broadcasters. So in Germany, it's on WOW, W-O-W. Let me see what it says for Turkey. Be in Sports. Be in Sports. Oh, it's not on Tennis TV either. I think it's on BN Sports, but check before you pay. Tennis TV, doesn't Tennis TV tend to cater more towards ATP than WTA? Otherwise, escaping ball, you're stuck with us. And there's worse places to be stuck. How many likes, by the way, have we got? I still want to know. I need to know how many likes we've got. Everyone hit that like button to get it boosted up. Okay, Townsend here serving 5-6, serving to stay in the first set in this WTA 250 final in Austin. The tournament in Merida is a 500, but I would argue that the fields in both tournaments were pretty equal. Okay. It is 15 love here for Taylor. So she started her first service game here a lot stronger than she did a moment ago when she was serving for the set. With a second serve. By the way, how tricky is it to see the balls? Quite tricky, I would suggest. 30 love. So 2 points away from a tiebreak. Backhand from Taylor into the backhand of Stearns. Forehand from Taylor is going to land just in. 40 love. 3 game points. I'm afraid if you don't find it on Be In Sports escaping ball, then because that's what it is suggesting on the WTA website. Be In Sports is the broadcaster. Okay, Stearns here on the attack. Taylor defending. And defending well enough to eventually frustrate Peyton Stearns. And we are going to go to a tiebreak. So, tiebreak time. I need some predictions from you in the live chat. What are we predicting for this tiebreak? Get some score lines and get them in ASAP because we're into the tiebreak already. Write some scores in the tiebreak, what you think this will be. Serve out wide from Peyton Stearns is going to help her earn the first point of the tiebreak with an ace out wide. 1-0 Stearns. Okay, we're into the rally here, and Stearns is going to go long, I think, there. So 1-all. So 1-all Stearns here. Misplaced ball toss. Second serve for Peyton Stearns to look at. Just feels like Stearns has the momentum right now. She hits a backhand return, and Peyton's now on the forehand of each player. Of course, Taylor is a lefty. Taylor now being made to move all around. Now she's on the defense, and it's Peyton on the attack, and Peyton punishes her. 2-1. 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. Two 2-1 swiftly becomes 3-1, by the way, with a good serve there. Is that another ace? I think it is, yeah. She's pulling out all the stops on serve right now. And so it's 4-1 Stearns. Townsend to serve here. Out wide. Backhand return is going to be missed. And so it is 4-2 with the change of ends. Do make sure you hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. We will have more watch-alongs later on today. The ATP Santiago final between Yannick Hanfmann and Luciano Darderi. We will have a watch-along for that one. And we will also have the WTA Merida final between Magdalena Frech and Christina Buxa. We'll have a watch-along for that match as well. So the tennis will be coming at you thick and fast today. And then tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. GMT, we will be bringing you the Indian Wells draw live as it happens on the channel. So join us for all of those streams. Forehand return here from Stearns. That's going to land in. Backhand cross court from Taylor Townsend. Now she's on the run, is Taylor. Peyton on the attack. On the forehand there. It's going to be a forehand winner for Peyton Stearns. 5-2 for Peyton in this tiebreak. From 3-5 down, Peyton Stearns. And 15-40 down. So 2 set points against her. She is now on the verge of winning this first set. An incredible turnaround here in this final. Indeed, tense moments indeed, Gene, but I think the tension is probably hitting Taylor a little bit more than Peyton right now. Anyway, 5-2. Forehand here from Peyton Stearns into the net. That was careless, I would suggest, from Peyton. That sat up quite nicely for her. Are you suggesting, Jane, that it's pretty tricky to beat Chileans in their own backyard? I think you are, and I wouldn't disagree. We have 30 people right now watching on YouTube. If you all hit subscribe right now, this number below me will go crazy, and it'll be you who's made the difference. Okay, backhand return into the forehand of Stearns, cross court into the backhand of Taylor Townsend. Backhand Stearns now, forehand Taylor Townsend. That lefty, good depth there from Taylor. Now it's on the backhand of Taylor. Again on the backhand. Seems to be a ploy for Peyton Stearns. In fact, the backhand from Taylor Townsend does eventually break down. She goes long, and we're going to have 3 set points for Peyton Stearns. The crowd not being with bias against the Chileans, that does not surprise me. Eventually, of course, Byers went out to a compatriot in the form of Luciano Darderi in the semi-final. And a prediction, by the way, that I made. I suspected that Darderi would emerge the winner there. Okay, 3 set points here for Peyton Stearns. And thank you for our latest subscriber. Keeping up to date with all things tennis. So 3-6, Taylor Townsend to serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? It could have been missed. So another serve. Although that might have clipped the net. Either way. 3-6, 3 set points on the Taylor Townsend serve for Peyton Stearns. Taylor just composing herself. Where are you going with this serve? Down the tee. And Peyton Stearns can't deal with it. 6-4. So 1 set point for Peyton Stearns. Sorry, Taylor Townsend saved. But there's 2 more. Remember, Taylor had 2 set points of her own on the Peyton Stearns serve just a few moments ago. As it is, it's now Taylor Townsend that's the one that's going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat. 4-6 on her serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? Taylor. It's another let, I think. So 4-6. Another serve here for Taylor Townsend. How she'd love an unreturned serve here. Let's see how this pans out. Where are you going with the ball? You're going down the tee. But again, it didn't land cleanly in. So another serve once again. Still 4-6 here. But it is set points for Peyton Stearns. And even if she doesn't take this one, she will have one of her own on her own serve. An hour and 5 minutes on the clock, by the way. It's been a pretty lengthy set. Okay, the serve is in. Now we're into the rally. Peyton Stearns on the forehand. Into the forehand of Taylor Townsend. Peyton Stearns again on the forehand. Now firing it into the backhand of Taylor Townsend. Cross court into the backhand there of Taylor Townsend. Taylor Townsend with a slice. But that's an excellent cross-court shot there from Peyton Stearns. She should win the point. Oh, no! How did she miss that, ladies and gentlemen? I think she was almost surprised to see it land back over the net. But once it did land back over the net, Peyton Stearns had the easiest of forehands. And yet somehow she contrived to dump it in the net from point-blank range. Taylor Townsend was struggling big style there. She did well to get her racket on it, and she did well to make it over the net. But as Stearns chased that ball down about a meter, so 1.5 yards, what's that, 5 feet maybe from the net, and she whacks that forehand and somehow hits it into the net. Anyway, still another set point here for Peyton Stearns, and this one is on her serve. 6-5. Where's she going to go with the serve? Down the tee, backhand return into the forehand of Peyton Stearns, down the forehand of Taylor Townsend. Lofted up from both players. Taylor on the attack, and Taylor forcing the error and screams with delight. 3 set points saved. Taylor Townsend took a slight risk there by picking up the pace. No lacking in bravery there from Taylor. And it's 6-all. Change of ends. Oh, dearie me, how Peyton Stearns will be kicking herself with that forehand that she had on top of the net. Both players, by the way, will be kicking themselves because both of the players have had huge opportunities to win this set. But it is 6-all, change of ends. We had 2 set points so far in this set for Taylor Townsend. And we've had 3 set points for Peyton Stearns. And yet, well over an hour, we still don't know who's going to be winning this first set. We're going to have another set point in a moment, but is it going to be for Peyton Stearns or is it going to be for Taylor Townsend? Well, Stearns is serving at 6-all. They have now changed ends as Peyton composes herself. She was anything but composed when she had that forehand on top of the net just now. Still, here we go. Stearns to serve. She'll be keen to get her first serve in. She does. It's down the tee and it's unreturned. So Peyton Stearns is going to have a 4th set point. This one is going to be on the Taylor Townsend serve. Tense moments here in Austin. Do hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Just the subscribe button just below the screen. And you'll see this little number just below my head tick over. And you'll know that was you who made the difference. Okay, can Taylor Townsend make a difference here? She attempts to save her 4th set point, 6-7. Where are you going to go with this serve? Out wide, backhand return, forehand from Taylor, lofted up. Peyton has the chance to attack. She does attack. Taylor on the defense. Peyton Stearns, surely she puts this one away. No, she doesn't. And now she puts a forehand into the net. Deary me, 7-all. And surely there, in Peyton Stearns' mind, she must have been thinking about the forehand that she missed in the previous set point that she had, or the set point she had, I think it was at 6-4. Anyway, she was really, she went into the Taylor Townsend backhand there, and she shouldn't have done. She should have gone the opposite direction, but she thought she had those memories of what happened before, no doubt going through her mind, and she messed up another chance. Okay, Townsend misses the first serve, but she has saved 4 set points. Although you could argue that Stearns has squandered those set points as well. 7-all. Where are you going with this serve, Taylor? Forehand return. Backhand now from Townsend. Forehand from Stearns. Forehand now again from Peyton Stearns. She's on the attack, but she's not winning the point just yet. In fact, Taylor Townsend doing really well to get back into the point, and arguably we're at neutral here. Backhand now into the forehand of Stearns. Now it's a slice from Taylor Townsend. And another easy forehand from Peyton Stearns goes into the net. She is all over the show right now, and it's going to be a 3rd set point for Taylor Townsend. Shrugs and frustration from Peyton Stearns right now. 7-8. She serves. It's a 3rd set point for Taylor Townsend. All 3 of her set points, by the way, have come on the Peyton Stearns serve. 2 at 15:40 at 3-5 in the set itself, and now a 3rd one in the tiebreak. 7-8, Peyton Stearns to serve. Best of 3, Big Dad. Best of 3. So first to win 2 sets. Okay, where are you going with this serve? Down the tee, backhand return. Forehand from Peyton Stearns. It's going to go long, is it? No, she wins it. Ooh, that was close. 8-all. It was another point that Peyton Stearns was so far on top of, and she should normally be putting these away in her sleep. But given the anxiety that she's shown in this tiebreak, it was tough for her. 8-all. Now can she regain her composure? 3 set points for Taylor Townsend, 4 for Peyton Stearns so far, and we're going to get another set point in a moment. But who is it going to be for? 8-all, Stearns serving. Out wide. Now on the forehand of Stearns. That's nice from Peyton. Now she's going to have a... Oh, but that's nicely lofted up. It's going to be a tricky one here for Peyton. Forehand into the net from Taylor Townsend with the court kind of open for her. And so we have another set point for Peyton Stearns. And Taylor this time will be the one kicking herself because she just had to make that forehand and Peyton would have been on the run. Probably a little bit cautious from Taylor in a way, despite the fact that it was an unforced error from her putting that into the net. We will have the Indian Wells draw live on the channel tomorrow, so please join us for that. 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, 8-9 here. Townsend to serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? Into the net on the first serve, so a second serve here for Stearns to look at. Okay, run around forehand return for Peyton. Now on the forehand of Taylor Townsend. Forehand from Stearns, a bit short. But Taylor Townsend's going to miss the forehand. And Peyton Stearns finally, at the 5th time of asking, gets over the line and wins the first set. What a dramatic set. We're going to take a break. And it's going to tell you on how you can become a member and all the extra perks and bonuses you can get from being a member. Remember, the membership link is pinned in the live chat. It's also mentioned in the description below. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of home page, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. Become a member indeed. Check the link pinned in the live chat and you can support the channel as well as getting access to bonus video material and interviews from as little as €2, $2 or £2 per month. Okay, the players have returned to the court. Taylor did have a brief break going off the court for a few minutes, but now the players are back on court. I'm going to actually just have a quick look at some of the stats from that first set. Okay, we've got a new haircut for Carlos Alcaraz. He's really enjoying life at the moment, is Carlitos. Maybe I'll share that with you at some point as well. But as I said, let's have a quick look at some of the stats from that first set. We've got Townsend serving here at the beginning of the second, and she has won the first point to go up 15 love. But yeah, Peyton Stearns, by the way, did pull out some aces at some huge moments. Her serve was pretty good as she got 66% of her first serve in. But the unforced error toll from both players exceeded their winners. In fact, Taylor Townsend hit double the number of unforced errors to winners in that first set. But I guess the story really was probably from 3-5 because Taylor Townsend got the early break and 3-5 Peyton Stearns serving to stay in the first set gets to 15-40 and Taylor Townsend has 2 set points, doesn't take either of them. And then she's serving for the first set and doesn't take that chance either. And ultimately, that was going to cost her the set, albeit that Peyton Stearns had some chances that came and went for herself. And her forehand fell apart towards the end of that first set, but still managed to get over the line. And so it is Peyton Stearns who wins the first set and has one hand on the Austin Trophy. It's a double fault here now as well off the racket of Taylor Townsend. So we have got to 15-30. She needs to compose herself here, Taylor, or she could be in a spot of bother having lost that first set. She doesn't want to go down an early break in the second. Okay, we're into the rally here. Peyton Stearns on the forehand. Forehand as well from Taylor. And it's a forehand into net, not for the first time today, from Peyton Stearns, albeit that she's cutting a much happier figure than she was at times in that first set when she looked pretty frustrated with how things were panning out. But obviously she's in fine fettle right now, having won that first set, particularly in the manner she did, so tight, 10-8 in the first set tiebreak. Taylor Townsend here serving at 30 all. So it's down the tee. It's an ace from Taylor, so she's going to bring up a game point at 40-30. As and when this game ends, I will share with you the Carlos Alcaraz new haircut. But first of all, let's see this game out. 40-30. So it's done the tee. Run around forehand return, but it's into the net. And as promised, Carlos Alcaraz's new haircut breaking. Might break the internet as well. Big Thad, by the way, Big Thad 7892. I assume that the fire is regarding Peyton Stearns winning the first set or the tennis perhaps on display rather than Alcaraz's new haircut. Taylor Townsend holds for one love, which bearing in mind she was at 15-30 in a spot of bother. An hour and 20 minutes on the clock, so it's been a slugfest so far, for sure. Fine margins. Stearns serving, 15 love, unreturned serve. get the scoreboard back for you. I don't want to scare you all off with the Carlos Alcaraz haircut. By the way, I still don't know how many likes this video has. Let me know in the live chat, somebody. If you're watching right now, have a look at the number of likes below the video and then write in the live chat and tell me how many likes we have on YouTube. Nashush thinking that it's going to be a straight sets win now or Nusha Damala. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Anyway, 85-81, going for a straight sets win for Peyton Stearns. If you haven't subscribed already, by the way, can you hit the subscribe button just below the screen? And then you'll look at this number and it'll tick over and you'll know it was you who made the difference. Okay. 30 love here on the Peyton Stearns serve becomes 40 love. Maybe she's being inspired by the confidence regarding the fact that some people are suggesting she's going to win this match in straight sets. So 3 game points here for Peyton Stearns. We will have, thank you very much for hitting subscribe on our channel. Much appreciated and welcome. Also, of course, hit that like button. That reminds me, by the way, of course, we will have more watch-alongs for other tennis matches later on this evening. So please join us for Yannick Hanfmann against Luciano Darderi in the Santiago final. We will have that on the channel, but we'll also be bringing you the Merida final as well between Christina Buxa and Magdalena Frech. So plenty more tennis coming up on the channel later on today. If you hit the notification bell in the corner, you will get notified as soon as we go live. And then you can join us for all our watch-alongs and live shows, predictions, previews, including the Indian Wells draw, which we'll have live on the channel tomorrow. Okay, still 2 game points here. She did have 3 game points, Peyton Stearns, but one of them has come and gone. And she's serving here at 40-15. We're getting nearer the hour and a half mark, for this particular encounter. And we're only just at the beginning of the second set. Peyton Stearns does hold with an excellent serve out wide. At times today, she has been just unplayable when she's on serve. At times. 73-minute first set. It's one of the main reasons why it's so lengthy, this match. By the way, let me know in the live chat if you have Instagram. Let me know if you follow Talking Tennis TT on Instagram. Let me know in the live chat. If you don't, then follow us, please. I think we're 2 followers away from 2,000. Oh, we've got 2,000. Exactly 2,000 followers on Instagram. Nice. But you could be our 2001st. Okay, Taylor Townsend here with a nice forehand cross-court winner there, 15 love. Okay, forehand return here from Peyton Stearns into the backhand of Taylor Townsend. Forehand from Stearns, backhand Taylor. The patterns of play right now don't look great for Taylor Townsend, I will say that. And she's just mishit a forehand, 15 all. Both players looking a bit laboured right now. Peyton, understandably so, bearing in mind the grueling 2 previous matches she had. 2-3 setters to get to the final. $15 all. First serve goes into the net here from Taylor Townsend. Second serve. 15 all. missed the second serve. So double fault from Taylor Townsend. 15-30. Okay, 30 all. As we see some random members of the audience, I have absolutely no idea who they are. They might be famous, they might not be. Thirty all here, 1-1, Taylor Townsend serving. A double fault, another one from Taylor. I think she's feeling it a little bit. In terms of being a bit tired. Yeah, first break point of the second set, and it's going to be one for Peyton Stearns. Good serve out wide, and Peyton Stearns can't deal with it, so we are at deuce. Somebody, please let me know how many likes we have on this video. I don't know if Jean, if you're still with us. If you are still with us, Jean, then please let me know in the live chat how many likes we have on YouTube. Missed the first serve here at deuce. So a second serve for Peyton Stearns to look at. As we hit the hour-and-a-half mark. Run around forehand return from Peyton. It's a good return. She's on the forehand right now, pushing Taylor Townsend further and further back. But now Taylor is stepping up into the court, but she is on the defense. And now it's another forehand error from Peyton Stearns when on top of the point. Now, despite the fact that Peyton, of course, is in such a good position in this match, having won the first set, punishing short balls on the forehand side has not been Peyton Stearns' forte today. That is for sure. And a great serve out wide, and Taylor Townsend holds. And we'll take a quick break.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you? Or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 1-2. Stearns had a break point on the Taylor Townsend serve, but wasn't able to take it. She'll be disappointed with that forehand once again in that particular game. And she'll also be disappointed with that first forehand of this game, love 15. Putting another... Her forehand and the net have been pretty good friends today. $15 all. Hey, Maitland 5. Good to see you on board again. What has happened to Taylor? I just think that the patterns of play from 3-5 until now have not been great for her. And she hasn't been getting enough depth on her shots. And also, I think a little bit of fatigue might be just starting to set in. Also, of course, she's never won a title on the WTA Tour. Peyton Stearns has. So there's no doubt who has the slightly more pressure. But I think both players will be feeling the pressure, particularly as they're at home. And we see a double fault from Peyton Stearns. I've gone for Peyton Stearns win. That's what I went for pre-match, and I'm not going to change my mind. But I think that she would like to do it in straight sets. Because although I do think Taylor is struggling a bit physically out there, I do think that it's going to hit Peyton pretty soon because of the lengthy matches she had in the quarters and the semifinals. So if Taylor was to win this second set, I think she would become the favorite. But we'll see. A lot of tennis to be done between now and then. Nice forehand there from Peyton Stearns, but good defending from Taylor Townsend. Now on the backhand, as Taylor attacks, she picks this up. No, she doesn't. 30 all. That'll disappoint Taylor. I wonder if the sun was an issue there as well in terms of trying to pick that ball up in the glaring sunshine. It was an interesting net rush decision. She couldn't quite... The reason why I'm just wondering about the sunshine is just because of how she just missed that entirely, or missed the connection, if you like, entirely. She did get her racket on it, but didn't even get close to getting over the net. So Stearns here serving at 30 all in this Austin final, 1-2. She serves out wide, and it's a really slow but well-placed serve that gives her another ace. I wonder if she's hit double figures now, 4 aces in this match. Game point, Peyton Stearns. Let me know in the live chat who you think is going to win. Just write S for Stearns or T for Townsend. Write it in the live chat and click return. And I might even share it on the screen. Game point here for Peyton Stearns. Down the T backhand return into the backhand of Peyton Stearns. Now on the forehand of Taylor Townsend. But they're not exactly hitting the ball with extreme velocity. Now Taylor Townsend threatens to come into the net, but actually she gets stuck in no man's land, and Peyton Stearns will be delighted with holding there from 15-30 down. So it is 2 games all in this Austin final. Well over an hour and a half now. Thank you for the latest person who hit subscribe, by the way. Whoever just hit subscribe, or whoever next hits subscribe, you'll see this number tick over and you'll know that you have made that difference. Be good to get to 26,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I guess we'll hit 26,000 at some point during the Indian Wells tournament. We will have the Indian Wells draw live on the channel tomorrow. So make sure you join us for that. Run around forehand return. Now in the forehand into the backhand of Peyton Stearns. Taylor Townsend comes into the net and she can't pick up that backhand. Backhand volley at the net. It was a really difficult backhand volley, to be fair, from Taylor, and she didn't make it in terms of getting it over the net. So love 15. Gotcha. I wouldn't be too confident, Amit Parab, of Townsend winning this set. Easily done in tennis, Maitland. Easily done. When we're watching tennis in various different time zones and we're in a different time zone ourselves quite often, it's easily done. Okay, love 15 here. Townsend to serve. run around forehand return. But that forehand from Stearns has been very much hit and miss today. I would say, in fact, probably more miss than hit, despite the fact that she is in front. And as a result, it's 15 all. Let me know in the live chat what you think of Carlos Alcaraz's new hairstyle, by the way. I quite like the skinhead Carlos. Okay, Townsend here serving 15 all. Down the tee, backhand return. Good depth there on that return from Peyton Stearns, and it's helped put her in charge of this rally, and she's going to force an error from Taylor Townsend on the backhand side, and it's 15-30. Remember, we have had a break point in this second set. Just the one, but we had a break point for Stearns in the previous Taylor Townsend service game. 30-40 it got to, but Taylor eventually held. Are we going to get another break point? Because it's 15-30 here on the Townsend serve. Both players been a bit tentative today, I would say, at times. Understandable, given neither player has won. In fact, Taylor Townsend's not won a single tournament on the WTA Tour. Stearns has only won one, but never in her homeland. Good serve there from Taylor down the tee, but we're into the rally. Now it's on the forehand of Townsend. That's a nice, big, inside-out forehand from Taylor Townsend from a neutral position, or neutral-ish. Actually, it was there to be attacked, to be fair. 30 all. If you're still watching Maitland, can you let me know how many likes we have on YouTube? 30 all here. Down the tee, backhand return. Forehand from Taylor Townsend. Good depth there from Taylor, but Peyton Stearns deals with it, and Townsend can't deal with that backhand, and we are indeed going to get another break point for Peyton Stearns. Exactly the same as the previous service game for Taylor Townsend in that she was down 30-40 and she finds herself down 30-40 again. So a huge point, biggest point of the match without a doubt so far. Peyton Stearns won the first set on her 5th set point, remember? It was an epic first set that was well over an hour. 73 minutes, actually. Okay, Townsend serves out wide, backhand return. Serve volley from Taylor Townsend, but she messes up the volley. And it's a break of serve for Peyton Stearns. No worries, Maitland. Just the 15. All right, let's get to 20 likes as soon as possible. If you're watching and you haven't hit like, please do so. But I tell you what, if you're a Taylor Townsend fan or Taylor Townsend herself, you're not going to like that volley. It was there for a serve volley, to be fair. And I think she may be electing the serve volley because she's keen to shorten the points. But if you're going to shorten the points, you're going to have to be putting volleys or like that away. And she didn't do so. She hit it wide. She hit it out and wide. It was a pretty horrible volley from Taylor's perspective. And as a result, Peyton Stearns now is one step closer to this Austin 250 title. It will be the biggest of her career as well. I mean, she has won a WTA Tour title previously in Rabat when she beat Maya Sharif in the final. That was also a 250. So in terms of magnitude and points, etc., they're both 250s. But to win a title at home must mean something. Yeah, that's true. When you refresh the page, the likes do suddenly go up, I think, a little bit. So that's good to know. Sonia Cheapers, 8013. Sonia Cheapers, by the way, if you haven't already done so, do hit subscribe on our channel. And if you do, you'll see this little number tick over. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell, which I think is in the top. I think it's in your top right as you look. If you hit that notification bell, then whenever we go live, so that bell you see in the top right-hand corner, whenever we go live, you will see, you'll be aware of us going live, and then you can join us. For example, we have 2 more watch-alongs today for the finals in Santiago and Merida on the ATP and WTA sides. And we'll also have the Indian Wells draw live on the channel tomorrow. So if you're keen to know who your favorite player is playing in the Indian Wells draw, join us for the draw live tomorrow as we see the paths for Iga Swiatek, Carlos Alcaraz, Arina Sabalenka, Alex Ayala, Taylor Townsend and Peyton Stearns, and many, many other players on both the WTA and ATP tours. Their draw will be revealed tomorrow live on Talking Tennis. Good serve into the body there from Peyton Stearns means she goes from love 15 to 15 all. Plus, we will have comprehensive previews on Tuesday for both the WTA and ATP sides of the tournament. Carlos Alcaraz seeking his third title in the desert. Iga Swiatek also seeking her third title in the desert. Talking of Carlos Alcaraz, let me know if you like Carlos Alcaraz's new hairstyle in the live chat. 15 all here. Stearns serving. Forehand return. Double fault from Peyton Stearns. 15-30. A few double faults from both players today, actually. And we're going to have some break back points here for Taylor Townsend as Peyton Stearns appears to be feeling the pressure of seeing that title. It's another forehand error from Peyton. So 3-2 she leads with a break, but she's 15-40 down. Probably the turning point of the match was in the first set when she was 15-40 down at 3-5 and 2 set points for Taylor Townsend. Are we going to get another twist, this time in favor of Taylor Townsend in the second set? First serve goes down the tee, unreturned. Taylor will be disappointed with that return that goes long. So one of the break points for Peyton Stearns has been saved. 30-40. Okay, 30-40. An hour and 45 minutes on the clock. Where are you going with this serve? Down the tee, but you're going to miss the first serve. So a second serve for Taylor Townsend to look at. And it's a break point to get this match in the second set back on serve. She's ready to pounce. Forehand return from Taylor. Forehand now into the net once again on the forehand from Peyton Stearns. And we are back on serve. 3-all. Well, another twist in this Austin final, which has had more twists and turns than a twisty-turny thing. The first twist was the Taylor Townsend break at the beginning of the match. The next twist saw Peyton Stearns save 2 set points at 3-5, 15-40. The next twist saw Taylor Townsend fail to serve out the first set at 5-4. The next twists came in the tiebreak when Peyton Stearns had 3 set points at 6-3, but couldn't take any of them. Townsend would get another set point of her own at 7-6. But ultimately, it was Stearns who got over the line. Now, the next twist was a break of serve for Peyton Stearns to go up 3-2 in this second set. So up a set and a break. But Townsend broke back immediately, and we are back on serve. Albeit, the Townsend here in the first point has lost the first point of this game. So it's 3-all love 15. And she's going to go long with the backhand there. I have very little confidence in the Townsend serve right now. And it is love 30. But can either of these two players hold their serve and their nerve in this second set? Love 30. Keep refreshing that page as well as we try to get to at least 30 likes. How many games have been played? We've had 13, add 6. We've had 19 games so far. 19 games. 13 in the first set, 6 in the second. And we're guaranteed at least 3 more. Backhand return here from Stearns into the backhand of Taylor Townsend. Now it's on the forehand of Peyton Stearns, but that's pretty short. But the errors right now are coming off the racket of Taylor Townsend with an all too infrequent manner. And it's love 40. So we have 3 break points for Peyton Stearns to regain the break advantage and see herself just 2 games away from winning this set. Serve down the tee. Unreturned. 15-40. Okay, 15-40 here. Forehand return. Forehand again from Peyton Stearns into the forehand of Taylor Townsend. Backhand slice from Taylor. Forehand to forehand right now. Now a slice again from Taylor Townsend. Goes into the net. And Peyton Stearns gets another break. This time to give herself a 4-3 lead. She had a 3-2 lead with a break just now, but we've just seen back-to-back breaks. In fact, I think that's 3 breaks of serve in a row, 2 for Peyton Stearns and 1 for Taylor Townsend. And Peyton Stearns right now is 2 holds away from the Austin title. Do let me know in the live chat, where in the world are you tuning in from? I am watching this match unfold, and I'm watching from Bonn in Western Germany. It'll be good to know where you guys are watching it from. Maybe you're in Austin. Maybe you're in the stadium right now and you're watching inside the stadium. If you are, give us a wave, yeah? Give us a wave when you're on TV. I'm looking at the balcony right now. Looks like a cute little tennis club, I will say that. Great, we're on 25 likes, Sonia. Sonia, do you follow us on Instagram, by the way? If you don't, join us on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. Good to know you're a subscriber on YouTube, at least, anyway. Okay, 4-3, Stearns leads. That is 7-6, 4-3, so that's 4-3 with a break. So 2 games away from winning her first title on home soil. A1 Stepper is tuning in the US. Good to know. Great. Yeah, give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. That's our Instagram there. It's I think our page is also in the description on YouTube. And here's our link. Oh, great. Good to know you listen to our podcast as well. Okay. Stearns here serving at 4-3. They are back in court. She's won the first point of this service game. So it is now 15-love for Peyton Stearns. We will have watch-alongs as well for the Merida final between Buxa and Frech. That'll be coming up in a few hours. So join us for that. And we will have the ATP Santiago final as well on the channel. Also coming up in a couple of hours. Between Darderi and Hanfmann. A double fault there for Peyton Stearns. So 15 all. I think she's feeling it. So if you look at what we've got on the channel coming up, we've got Darderi there against Hanfmann. The link there or the image you can see in the bottom left. That is for Darderi Hanfmann, which will be coming up in about 2 hours from now, just over 2 hours. Magdalena Frech and Christina Buxa. We'll have a commentary just like we've got right now for Magdalena Frech against Christina Buxa in the Merida final. And then tomorrow, we will have the draw live on the channel. 40-15 here for Peyton Stearns. To get to 5-3. I will share the score with you on the screen. Great return there from Taylor Townsend to get to 40-30. So one of the game points has been saved. Is she going to save another one here? 4-3, 40-30. Stearns to serve. Where are you going with this serve? You're going out wide. Forehand return from Taylor Townsend is quite short. But the forehand from Peyton Stearns has been sprayed long. And so it is deuce. That is our Instagram page, by the way. So it is deuce now. That's a disappointing forehand there from Peyton Stearns. We've had 3 breaks in a row. Are we going to get a 4th break in a row? It's not been the highest quality of finals, but it has been tense and nervous and intriguing. Forehand return into the forehand of Stearns. Now on the forehand of Taylor Townsend. Backhand from Stearns clips the net. Oh, lucky Peyton. Very nervous, but she's lucky with that net cord. It was a dead net cord. In other words, it clipped the top of the net and just landed the other side of it. Very unfortunate for Taylor Townsend there at such a big moment in this match. No way she's going to be able to chase that one down. Peyton does apologize. But anyway, sorry, not sorry, perhaps. Game point here for Peyton Stearns. Where are you going to go with this serve? Not sure about that ball toss on that last serve, which probably didn't help in terms of her hitting a fault. So a second serve for Taylor Townsend to look at here as we approach the 2-hour mark. Forehand return from Taylor Townsend. Backhand now into the forehand once again of Taylor Townsend. Backhand slice from Peyton Stearns into the forehand of Taylor Townsend. That's really good aggressive play from Taylor. Can she put the smash away? She can. Deuce. Good aggressive tennis there from Taylor Townsend. At times today, Taylor has been quite passive, I would suggest. Not on that point. She took the bull by the horns and deservedly won the point with a smash. Deuce. 3 subscribers away from 25,400 subscribers, which will be a nice round figure as we head towards 30,000 subscribers. Okay. Stearns serving here at deuce. Again, that ball toss was a bit careless, I would say, from Peyton Stearns. Wasn't quite in the ideal strike zone for a serve, I would argue. But anyway, second serve. Forehand return from Taylor Townsend. Decent depth on the forehand. Now we're into the rally. Both players just taking it easy here. Neither wants to cause an error, but it is an error from Taylor Townsend, and we're going to have a game point for Peyton Stearns. As we get closer and closer to the 2-hour mark in this fascinating WTA 250 final in Austin. Okay, where are you going with this serve? You are going into the forehand return of Taylor Townsend. Now on the forehand of Peyton Stearns. And she's missed the forehand, so it's deuce. Just. Unlucky, Peyton, because look how close that was. We're talking millimeters out. But it was out. And again, that forehand letting her down. When she goes big on the forehand today, Peyton, more often than not, she's missed. Deuce. Okay, where are you going to go with this serve? Peyton Stearns. Just missed on that, just went long with that first serve. So a second serve here for Taylor Townsend to look at. Backhand return. Forehand from Stearns is into the net, and that was a tight forehand there from Peyton Stearns. And again, it's that forehand, and it's again that relationship that between her forehand and the net, which hasn't been a nice relationship today. I'd call it pretty toxic, actually. And so we have a break point for Taylor Townsend. This would be the fourth break of serve in a row from 2-all. Remember, Stearns did have 40-15 on her serve here, and she's missed the first serve. No doubt right now that Peyton Stearns is an anxious tennis player, and it's a second serve here for Taylor Townsend to look at. Peyton just needs that finish line, and she's going to get a gift on return there. Taylor Townsend really should be making that return, but she didn't. A huge lefty wielded wide. And it's deuce. Peyton just needs some first serves right now. First serve goes into the net. So second serve. So she can't buy a first serve right now, as we hit the 2-hour mark for this WTA Austin final. Forehand return. Forehand from both players right now. And that's going to go long from Taylor Townsend. And we are going to have a game point for Peyton Stearns, not the first one in this game, to finally get to 5-3. Dead on 2 hours right now. We have 44 people watching on YouTube. If you all hit subscribe right now, you'll see this number just below my head tick over, and you'll know that that was you who made the difference. You were that subscriber that went doot, doot, doot. Okay. Forehand here from Stearns into the forehand of Taylor Townsend. It's a lovely forehand winner from Taylor Townsend. And we are back to deuce, ladies and gentlemen. This game has got to be pushing 10 minutes, I would argue. Thank you for that latest subscriber, by the way. We're just 2 away now from 25,400. Will we get to 25,400 subscribers before the end of this match? Forehand from Taylor here. Now on the forehand of Peyton Stearns. Backhand Taylor Townsend down the middle of the court. Both players really taking it easy. But it's a forehand error again from Taylor Townsend. And again, the trajectory out wide. And again, we have a game point for Peyton Stearns to go 5-3 up. Great. Thank you very much for hitting subscribe, by the way. Do join us for the watch-alongs in Merida and Santiago. Later on today, the finals on the ATP Santiago and the WTA Merida finals we'll have on the channel, just like this one right now. And you can enjoy watching those matches with us on Talking Tennis. Okay, Stearns here serving 4-3, her advantage. It's another game point for Peyton, the number 4 seed, the slightly higher ranked of these two players. So Stearns here to serve. I will address this question in a minute about the scoreline. A lovely forehand return there from Taylor Townsend. She comes into the net with another really good volley, and it's going to help her win the point. And it's back to deuce, ladies and gentlemen. This game is the game that just doesn't want to end. And so, what is the score? Says Frazi. Well, the score is Peyton Stearns won the first set. Remember, it's the first to win 2 sets. But this second set is a real slog. It's 4-3 to Peyton Stearns, but we are going to have a break point for Taylor Townsend to get this second set back on serve after a horrible forehand from Peyton Stearns. Again, close proximity to the net, and again, she hits a forehand into the net. So it is a break point for Taylor Townsend. Remember, it's the first to win 6 games, wins a set, but you have to win by 2 clear games. Because you have to win by 2 clear points. So one player is getting 1 point in front, but they're not going 2 points in front. Right now, we have Taylor Townsend 1 point ahead of Peyton Stearns. If she wins this point, the game finishes. But if Stearns wins the point, the game carries on because you have to win each game by 2 clear points. Forehand return from Taylor Townsend's big, and it's going to help her win the point and therefore the game. And we're back on serve in this Austin final. 4 games all. Finally, that game ends, and it ends in favor of Taylor Townsend. Over 2 hours for this match, and we're not even close to winning, concluding the second set. It is 4 games all. We are now in the scenario where if either player wins 2 games in a row, they win the set. For Peyton, if she wins 2 games in a row, she wins the match. And it is 15-love here on the Taylor Townsend serve. We have almost 50 people watching on YouTube right now. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. And you will see this subscriber count tick over. So 15-love here. Taylor Townsend serves. Where are you going with that serve? Down the tee. Into the net she comes, but she's going to go long on the backhand. So it's 15 all. If you're not following us on Instagram, please do at Talking Tennis TT. And it is 30:15, and thank you for our latest subscriber who's just pushed us to the 25,400 mark. That's much appreciated. Anyway, back to this match. We have 30:15 here for Taylor Townsend. We've had 4 breaks of serve in a row, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a 5th in a row because Taylor Townsend has raced into a 40-15 lead. And on 2 occasions in this second set, Peyton Stearns was a break up. But now Taylor Townsend holds serve. A really good serve and volley from Taylor. She's tried that a few times today with not a huge amount of success, but it worked on that occasion. It was a wonderful volley from Taylor at the net. Good hands there from Townsend. And as a result, they're going to now sit down for the change of ends. And when they return to the court, Peyton Stearns is going to be serving to stay in the second set. What a turnaround in this match. Taylor Townsend on 2 separate occasions was a breakdown in this second set. And Stearns was very close to the finish line at 4-3, but she just couldn't hold. Do I think there's going to be a third set? 50-50, Big Thad, 7-8-9-2. 50-50 on that one. This is our profile on Instagram, by the way. I'm going to put the link in the live chat there. So that is the link to our Instagram account. So do give us a follow there. We have hit the 2,000 followers mark on there. Oh, great. Got 30 likes. Thanks, Sonia. Thank you for everyone who's liked this video. To get to 50 likes, I think we might need a third set, which, by the way, could happen and will happen if Peyton Stearns doesn't hold. So now the pressure is on Peyton. Remember, Taylor Townsend has never won a title on the WTA main tour. Peyton Stearns has won a title. It was in Rabat in Morocco. It was also at the WTA 250 level, just like this one. But it was on the clay courts of Northern Africa against Maya Sharif. This is, of course, on the hard courts in Texas. Austin, Texas. And now Peyton Stearns is going to serve at 4-5. Both players have looked anxious at times, and Peyton especially at various times in this second set, as that finish line got ever closer. She does at least get a first serve in there, Peyton Stearns, which is something that has evaded her at times in this second set, to win the first point on serve. Stearns here serving, 15-love. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going into the forehand of Taylor Townsend. That's on the forehand of Peyton Stearns. Too often today, that forehand of Peyton's has let her down, but it doesn't let her down there. Good depth from Peyton, forcing the error from Taylor Townsend, and we are at 30-love. Stearns here serving 4-5, 30-love in the second set. Can she get to 40-love and earn herself 3 game points? With this serve, she lands it in the box. Nice on Peyton. Now it's on the forehand. Backhand of Taylor Townsend. Now it's the forehand of Peyton Stearns. The forehand winner from Peyton Stearns. Too often today, she's had a short ball that she's not punished. She did there. 40-love. So 3 game points here for Peyton Stearns to level it up at 5-all. Okay, Stearns here serves out wide, clips the net and still lands in, but it's going to be another serve. Let me know in the live chat, by the way, who do you think is winning? Just write T for Townsend or S for Stearns. Great return there from Taylor Townsend, arguably forcing the error on the backhand side from Peyton Stearns, and it is 40-15. So yeah, just write T for Townsend and hit return, or S for Stearns if that's who you think is winning. Big Thad is going for Stearns. Sonia is also going for Stearns. She, of course, did win the first set. Okay, we're in the rally here. Backhand from Taylor Townsend is a winner. Lovely backhand winner there from Taylor Townsend to get us to 40-30. What an intriguing, fascinating final this has been thus far. Rafael Collignon showing a picture on Instagram with Yannick Sinner in Indian Wells. Okay, Stearns on the forehand. Forehand now from Taylor Townsend. Another forehand from Stearns, but Taylor is repelling this pretty well. And it's a forehand winner from Taylor Townsend up the line, and we're at deuce. Wow, from 40-love, that quickly disappeared to deuce. And right now, Taylor Townsend is 2 points away from winning the second set. An excellent forehand winner there from Taylor down the line. And Peyton Stearns has missed the first serve. Boy, oh boy, she's got to be feeling it right now. Having been up 4-3 with a break in this second set, 2 games away from the title. And now it's a second serve as well. Forehand return there. Forehand now from each player. Backhand up the line there from Taylor Townsend. But it's a lovely backhand cross court from Peyton Stearns. Now it's on the forehand of Peyton. It's a wonderful forehand winner from Peyton Stearns. Really aggressive, confident play from her, which hasn't always been apparent today. But it was there, and she gets a game point. She's delighted with that. From 40-love to deuce. Huge point with Taylor Townsend just 2 points away from winning the set. Now she has a game point for 5-all. Where are you going to go with this serve? Peyton Stearns. Out wide. Chop return from Taylor Townsend. Now it's on the forehand of Peyton Stearns. And Taylor Townsend can't deal with it on the backhand side. And we are at 5-all. It's really difficult to know which way this match is going to go next. 5-all in the second set. Well over 2 hours. It hasn't always been the highest of quality finals, but listen, you just can't take your eyes off it right now. Taylor Townsend to serve at 5-all. She was 2 points away from winning the set. 2 points, by the way, being the operative word. She had 2 set points on the Peyton Stearns serve in the first set. Couldn't take them, then couldn't serve it out, and ultimately lost that first set on a tiebreak. Forehand here from Taylor Townsend, but it's a wonderful backhand cross-court winner there from Peyton Stearns. She was almost on the back foot there, was Peyton. And yet she wins that point, love 15, maybe catching Taylor a bit by surprise there. A glorious backhand winner there, cross-court from Peyton Stearns. Okay, forehand Taylor Townsend comes into the net. Lovely volley there from Taylor Townsend. Really good. That's, I think, 2 or 3 volleys now in fairly quick succession that she's hit beautifully. Okay, serves down the tee, but misses the first serve, does Taylor Townsend. So a second serve here for Peyton Stearns to look at. Forehand return into the backhand of Taylor Townsend, which is cross-court, but it's still on the forehand of Peyton Stearns. And a backhand from Taylor goes into the net. 15-30. A break of serve here for Peyton Stearns, and she will be serving for the match. Oakley Dokley, 15-30. Good serve there from Peyton Stearns, from Taylor Townsend to get it 30-all. Second serve here, Taylor Townsend. Run around forehand return. It's an excellent return of serve from Peyton Stearns. And we're going to have a break point for Peyton Stearns here, 30-40. It was a run around forehand return. And so often today she's missed these gimmies, if you like, but she didn't miss that one. That was sweet as a nut. And it's going to be a break point for Peyton Stearns. She gets the break of serve here and she'll serve for the match. Taylor Townsend was going to serve volley that. It clips the net and goes long, though, so it's going to be a second serve. Forehand from Taylor. Now into the forehand of Peyton Stearns. Backhand from Taylor Townsend goes into the net. Peyton Stearns gets the break. And so leads 6-5 and will serve for the match for the first time. She had 2 separate occasions when she was a break-up in this set, but didn't quite get as far as serving for it. But now she will. For the 3rd time in this set, she has a break advantage and so has one hand on the title. But can she get over the line? She's looked very nervous when she's had these break advantages in this set. She also looked nervous in the previous service game as well when she was 40-love up but got pegged back to deuce. But can she finally get over the line, Peyton Stearns, for her 2nd WTA career title? And this one would mean a lot to her in her homeland. It's not always been of the highest quality, But I tell you what, it's been fascinating throughout. She's from Cincinnati, is Peyton Stearns, by the way. So she does have a home tournament, not just in terms of her country, but also in terms of her birthplace in Cincinnati. That tournament comes up, of course, in August. She had a brief spell last year with Tom Hill. I say last year, it was actually a year-long collaboration. Tom Hill was the coach of Maria Sakkari for a long time. Then he had a year with Peyton Stearns, and now he's back coaching Maria Sakkari. She's currently being coached by Blaz Kavcic, who's a Slovenian coach, also a player, got to world number 68 in 2012. Just 38 years old is Kavcic, but he is retired and now coaching Peyton Stearns. Anyway, Stearns here to serve, out wide. Forehand return from Taylor Townsend is good, but that's a great forehand from Peyton Stearns. Now she's got another forehand. She's going to be in the net. It's a really tricky smash for Peyton, but she puts it away. That didn't feel like the cleanest of smashes, but she won't care. 15 love. That was front foot tennis there from Peyton Stearns. Remember to give us a follow on Instagram at TalkingTennisTT. Also, remember to hit like on this video. And if you haven't already done so, please hit subscribe. Okay, Stearns here to serve. Down the tee, backhand return, but that's not going to land in. So a second serve here for Taylor Townsend to look at. Peyton Stearns 3 points away from winning the title in Austin. We're going to go with this serve. You are going down into the body. Forehand return is good from Taylor Townsend. Townsend on the front foot in this rally. And if she put that backhand drive volley winner away, she has. 15 all. Much to the delight of members of her team, I believe, there we're looking at, who are clapping. It was a great return from Taylor Townsend. And then look at that. Sweet as a nut, that backhand drive winner. 15 all. Okay, Stearns here to serve. Where are you going to go with this serve? You're going down the tee, but you're going to miss it again. It's another missed first serve. Second serve here for Taylor Townsend to look at. Remember, Peyton Stearns serving for the match and 3 points away from the title. Forehand return. Forehand there from Taylor Townsend. And that's a forehand from Peyton Stearns up the line. It's a good forehand from her up the line. But can she put this short ball away? She can't. She retreats to the baseline. She's not sure what to do right now. Backhand now from Peyton Stearns. Forehand from Stearns into the backhand of Taylor Townsend. And that's going to go long. An error from Taylor Townsend. That was a crucial error. And arguably got Peyton Stearns out of jail there, because Stearns was up in the rally, but then was caught in no man's land there, not really knowing whether to stay at the net or retreat to the baseline. She retreated to the baseline somewhat anxiously, but ultimately it was a backhand error from Taylor Townsend that went long, and we're at 30-15 for Peyton Stearns. Stearns here serving. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going into the forehand. Oh, it's not going to be a clean return, but it's now on the backhand of Peyton Stearns. Forehand from Taylor Townsend was wild and missed by a long way. And we're going to have 2 match points for Peyton Stearns. Can she get over the line for her second WTA Tour title, denying Taylor Townsend her first title? 2 championship points here for Peyton Stearns. Where are you going to go with this serve? Stearns here. Serves out wide. Backhand slice return. Has got good depth on it from Taylor Townsend. Now Taylor Townsend, all sorts of trouble there. She can't deal with the backhand. Peyton Stearns punches the air with delight as she seals the title, much to the disappointment of Taylor Townsend. But they do embrace. It's a warm hug at the net between the two players. And Peyton Stearns gets over the line for her second career title. 7-6, 7-5, 2 fingers from her in the air, perhaps to indicate 2 titles won, and she is the champion in Austin. Congratulations to Peyton Stearns and all her fans. Commiserations to Taylor Townsend, who had her chances today. Don't forget, it was Taylor Townsend who took the earliest initiative in this match by breaking the Peyton Stearns serve. She also then had 2 set points on the Peyton Stearns serve at 3-5, 15-40. She couldn't take either of those 2 set points, and then also was unable to serve it out at 5-4. We then get to the tiebreak, and both players are looking pretty anxious. Both players hitting the ball kind of cautiously, and it's just waiting for the first person to blink or the first person to make an error. And as a result, there were some errors flying now off the racket at Taylor Townsend, perhaps feeling the momentum shift going towards Peyton Stearns in that first set tiebreak. And it was Stearns who was leading 6-3 in the tiebreak. But suddenly then it was Stearns who got anxious. And how many times were we seeing Stearns up in the rallies and having short balls, but dumping forehands into the net? That was a relationship that was growing ever more toxic between the forehand of Peyton Stearns and the net. And in the end, we get to 6-all in the tiebreak as she can't seal the deal from 6-3 up. 3 set points coming and going. Remember, this stage, we've had 2 set points for Taylor Townsend and 3 for Peyton Stearns. We were going to have a 4th set point for Peyton Stearns that was going to come and go. We were going to have a 3rd set point for Taylor Townsend that would come and go. And eventually, Peyton Stearns wins that first set in a pretty dramatic tiebreak. So she got over the line in terms of that first set tiebreak by winning it by 10 points to 8. The second set was nervy from both players again. The quality wasn't particularly high from either player as they were just waiting often for an error from the opponent. But it was Taylor Townsend who was delivering more errors than Peyton Stearns in the initial stages of the second set and had a break point on the Taylor Townsend serve, couldn't take it, but eventually did go up a break in the second set and lead by 3-2. 1 or 2 pretty awful volleys from Taylor Townsend at the net, helping Peyton Stearns get that early advantage in the second set. But we actually had 4 breaks of serve in a row. Peyton Stearns went up 3-2 with a break, got reeled into 3-all. Then she goes up 4-3 with a break, and now Peyton is just 2 games away from the win, but she can't get over the line, gets to 4-all after those 4 breaks in a row, and now Taylor is the first person to hold for quite some time, and also gets to deuce on the Peyton Stearns serve at 4-5. So she's now just 2 points away from winning the second set and taking us to 3 sets. But Peyton Stearns held her nerve and her serve to get to 5-all, and then ultimately breaking the Taylor Townsend serve, and then finally serving it out, winning the last 3 games of the match to win this 7-6, 7-5, denying Taylor Townsend her first ever title and winning her second title. Looking at some of the stats from this match, Peyton Stearns, 8 aces. That was huge for her at times. She was serving well at times in this match, and none more so with some of those unreturned serves and aces in particular. She hit 8 aces, Taylor Townsend hitting just 2. 11 double faults from the 2 players, 6 off the racket at Taylor Townsend, 5 from Peyton Stearns. But it was the unforced error count from both players. They hit between them 82 unforced errors today, but it was 44 unforced errors off the racket of Taylor Townsend that proved the difference. 38 from Peyton Stearns, as Peyton Stearns got over the line and won her second WTA Tour title and her first in her homeland for the Cincinnati-born right-hander. She seals the title and will be going to Indian Wells in fine fettle. Taylor Townsend will be thinking what might have been, particularly regarding that first set. But it is Stearns who lifts the title in Austin. Thank you for joining, and you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.